Um, third video, I assume, that you made over 80 some odd weeks ago or thereabouts. The one about the fear of cats. How can we tie into this show about bucket list the fear of cats? Why should some people maybe have that on their bucket list?
Well, getting over a fear, I feel, should be on everyone's bucket list.
Okay.
I mean, something I didn't learn how to swim until 3 years ago. And that held me back from so many things. On trips, I would stay on the boat. I never got to go swimming in the ocean with no life jacket. There were so many things. When I would go on a trip to Cuba, would go on an excursion. Oh, we can't do that because I can't snorkel because I can't swim. And it was so many things that were just continuously holding me back, and I totally got sick of it. And I learned how to swim, and it is so freeing to not have to worry about that every time I go on a trip or I go to someone's house. And I think
So
everyone should work to get over at least one of those fears in their lives.
when people don't do that and to work on that, what that fear is, what are some of the reasons why when somebody hears this and they have a fear and they're kind of getting what you're saying, but they still think, no, that fear is what could be holding them from tackling that fear?
Habit.
Explain, expound.
I had the habit of not going on boats. It was
Okay.
immediate. Hey, we're all going to go boating. I'm like, no, I don't know how to swim. It was
Okay.
instant. I instantly said no.
Before it came out of people's mouth, virtually, you were already in lockdown mogul. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to say this. You were already thinking no before you even were put in the position. Was it
Yeah.
kind of like that? Yeah.
Yeah. I would exclude myself from
Wow.
events and things with my friends and family because I had this fear. And it became a habit just because and I trained them that way. I trained them how to
Okay,
treat
time
me
out.
because
No, no, time out. You got to go back to that. That's way cool. Okay, rewind. You trained them to accept your no.
yes.
You created an atmosphere that you could manage and control to keep yourself locked into that fear of adventure
Yes.
of something
Absolutely.
that hasn't even happened.
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. I'm a guy. Left side of the brain is just kind of being blown right now. Right side's got to kick in. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready. Go to the next thing.
It's
That's so way cool.
because I had that fear, and growing up they saw me have this fear and they never made me get over it. They wanted to,
Yes,
but
of course.
because I was putting up a huge wall. If they chucked me in the water, I just had a freak out, and that was it. It did not help me at all. Made it worse. And
I
then,
was gonna say yeah, made it worse. Yeah, okay.
and then, going forward, because they had seen that, or someone had told them about my freakouts and fear, they stopped inviting me, or they would accommodate me, accommodating my fear.
Accommodate the fear.
Yeah, that's terrible. You're enabling me to never get over this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you should chuck anyone in the water. Please don't. And it's really hard in any fear context to trust somebody who doesn't have it because they don't
Right.
get it. I've
Right.
had countless people say, "You don't know how to swim? I'll teach you how to swim." And I'm like, no. Because, and they would say, "Why? Don't you trust me?" And I say, "No, it doesn't matter who you are. You can be my best friend. I'll teach you how to swim." I'm like,
Uh,
no. You don't trust
no.
me? No, not with my fear because you don't get it. And the person who did teach me how to swim is actually out of my gym. It was a sign, and it was a sign. I was sick of it. It said, "Learn to swim." It was a sign that said, "Learn to swim." It was a sign. It was a sign. And I emailed this coach and I gave her every excuse why I couldn't learn how to swim. And she kiboshed every single one of them.
But wait a minute. You saw the sign. You were done with it. You emailed them, and then you went charging right back in like a bull seeing red as to why you couldn't do it.
Yes. But she did not accept this because she has taught adults who have the fear of going underwater, or even people in my class, it was about 16 of us. It was a lot of immigrants who just never learned to swim because they didn't live near water. They just never had the opportunity. When they came to Canada, they're like, that's a lot of water. We should learn how to swim. So there was it was all adults. And I was probably the second youngest one there, actually. Many of them were over 50, over 60 in this class, learning how to swim with me. But they had no fear, no skill, where I had all fear and all skill. Because I could doggy paddle.
You could dog paddle, yeah.
I could do all the things with the water not going over my nose.
My nose, right.
But then it was my second class, and I was swimming underwater across the pool. And that feeling, conquering a fear, is like no other. It was better than like the feeling of skydiving. Like it was like I felt like superwoman. I was like, if I can do this, I can do anything.
That is way cool. That seriously, you have no idea. For me to hear you say that is so cool. Simply because people who knew you were coming on after I ran the advertisement, you were coming on, were thinking about bucket list and what it entails and what they're conditioned to think. But when I told them a little bit, but not the show, to go check out the page and get an understanding of your overall perspective, they were tickled pink to be able to watch this later. So I am saying this. I need you to tell me, based upon some of the things that people were asking me before you ever came on, what was the feeling? Try your best. I'm asking for something that may be challenging, but I don't think so for you. Try your best to describe that feeling as you formed a new habit. Once you kicked fear out of the way of swimming, what was that feeling like? If you're trying to describe it to someone and you're trying to coax them to see, check out the feeling you're going to really get and not be locked into the fear feeling that's holding you back. Separate the two and give us some perspective.
Well, conquering the fear first, it's like a weight has been lifted. And
okay.
It's not like if you have an allergy where you always have to be aware of it. You always have to ask about it. It's not like that. It's like a situation comes up and I know I would normally say something and I'm aware of it, and then just not saying anything.
Wow.
And just going.
Yeah.
And I've never wanted to be like other people before. I've never wanted to just fit in and be like other people until this. I just wanted to be another person in the swimming pool. Just swimming around and no one to go, oh, are you gonna die? Do you want a pool noodle? Are you it's 10 feet. No one's gonna tell me that. No one's gonna worry because I didn't have to bring it up. No one else is thinking about it. And I don't have that fear. Frolicking in a meadow. Beautiful.
That is book number 2 or 3. Frolic 1, frolic 2, frolic 3. You gotta have, if you do one frolic, you gotta have 3. You gotta have 3 frolic. Everybody in life should have 3 frolic that they've had. So frolic 1, frolic 2. Everybody, please look up the definition of the word frolic. Trust me, you will go like, yeah, you can't have 1 frolic. You gotta have 3. You gotta come in 3s. It's like having only 1 Twinkie. You gotta have more. Oh wait, no, you're doing the 75 hard. You're gonna have it. Okay, so 3. Yeah. Well, no. I try to cut back. I want to look as young as I can and actually literally be that too. I don't want to just look it. I want to actually be healthy. But when it comes to there's just so much for me to choose from. But I'm going to start here. All I do is look at the page and I start smiling. So you were overprepared at one point. You were overprepared for something it would be your first mud run.
Yes.
One of the many funny and cute videos that you have. Why were you over prepared for a mud run?
You know, I never thought I was a competitive person
You
because
know what? You are. And I just met you and you are. In the show prep, I felt it. You were a competitive person. You wanted me to shut up so much so you can start talking. You wanted me to shut up so bad. I
let
watched you
her
and I was
talk.
wait, and I was totally gonna milk it because I was going like she's in torture right now. She
I
wants me to shut up
know.
because she's got so much to say. But
I have so much to say.
go ahead.
I was I didn't because athletically I've never
Mm,
been an athlete. I was never in sports. I was never really good at anything sports wise, so I was never competitive. So if I
okay.
was playing a sport, I just expected to be terrible at it. Whatever. So
Okay.
most of the athletics that I do is something by myself. So running. So I was training for this mud run, 6K. I had only really run 3K before that consistently, and I
Okay.
was training, running 6K. All right, I'm ready. I go. No one was running.
You started the 6K
Yes,
ready to make it happen because that's the way you roll.
yes,
This competition against self, and you were ready to make it happen, and you're going to do this 6K because you never done it before.
that's right.
What was everybody else doing when it started?
They were just sauntering through with their friends and talking and just walking, and I'm jogging around all these groups. And then I found somebody else that was running. I said, "I guess it's just us." He said, "I guess so." So we just ran together and did the obstacles and just ran the course. There was only 4 people that I found running the entire time.
What did you take from that mentally, emotionally, from that experience about yourself?
That I never run 6K, and I just proved to myself that I could do it. And I don't know, I didn't feel bad about being over prepared, but my competitive nature was a little disappointed.
You were over prepared for the purpose of meeting the challenge of fitting in with everyone else and holding your own, maybe, only to find out that they were all chilling and they were chillaxing, and you were looking like you're in the Olympics, ready to make it, get your gold medal.
I was absolutely the odd person out. Here I was thinking this is going to be a whole group going at the same time, like, like a race you see on TV. Everybody leaves the starting line together. No, I walk over to the starting line and people are just walking in. Okay, there's no start. All right. Uh, and then I'm the only one running. It didn't make any sense.
It made no sense. It made none whatsoever. Do you find yourself, uh, let's say, as you put it there, you were over prepared. Do you find yourself overthinking things?
Professionally, yes. I'm a
Okay,
professional
that should be a
overthinker.
shirt. Nope, that should be a coffee cup and a shirt right there. That's it right there. You're a professional overthinker. People
Professional.
would buy that. People
Professional.
8.99 people would buy that off your page. That's merch you could sell right there. Okay, you make purple ones, yellow ones. They would put that would be a gift that somebody would give to somebody else to send us a clear signal that they're an overthinker.
Oh,
Give them
yeah.
a coffee cup.
Yes.
Professional, yes. Okay, overthinker. How are
Overthinker,
you an
quixotic,
overthinker? What?
overprepared. But,
Over overprepared.
so it is what it is. I'd rather be overprepared than underprepared.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good observation that you had there, that I worked so hard to fit in and I was the only one
Yeah.
actually
You were
running.
actually setting the standard for everyone else to fit in with you. Instead of you thought it was the other way around. When it comes to overthinking, how can that get in the way of people with a new bucket list to start to tackle their fears and the challenges that they've set up for themselves, like the wall you set up for yourself before you started swimming?
Well, there's a quote that says, "Fear is a result that hasn't happened yet." So overthinking just allows you to create a, a ton of those results that haven't happened yet and are unlikely to happen. Like, you know, your mind can go into very odd places when it comes to fear. And these unlikely scenarios are stopping you. And then that'll cause you to overthink. And if you're going to try something that maybe that fear is included, you're probably also going to over prepare for these unlikely situations.
Now, you had a situation, and I thought about posting this picture. I still may, because I can, because I'm just that way. You have a posting here. I'm always going to be smiling every time I look at this stuff because I know what the video says. I mean, I have a weird brain. I kind of memorize certain things. So, first speech, set goals, life is short. That's the video. Got 66 views. I'm telling you guys, you need to watch this one. I mean, it's like it's the beginning of her stand-up comedy routine, but she's not a comedian. But you're funny. You're very funny in that one.
Yeah.
And you shine up pretty good there, girl. You're doing pretty good there. You shine up pretty good. You stop. It was like a corporate meeting. I was going like, wait a minute, I just watched a bunch of the other ones, and you got the cat that's helping you with the posing of you're doing a handstand, and then I get down here and it's like, welcome to the corporate world. Look at Lisa, looking all grown up. But really great points you make out of that. But I'm not going to talk about that one. I'm going to go to the one right above it, which is you versus regret. What is it about you versus regret? People often hold on to regret and their fears as they're dying.
Yes. Two things can happen with regret. There's two results of regret. So it can create self-hate. You can think about, oh, I never took that job. I should have taken that job because now blah blah blah. Self-hate. Or regret can be used to motivate you. Regret can be used to motivate you to not create that scenario for yourself again and do better. So when it comes to me versus regret, it's a battle. It's a battle of both of those things. I mean, you can't change the past. You learn from the past. You don't live in it. But what am I going to do with that? So I need to turn that into motivation to do better, to make better decisions, and to maybe allow myself to overthink a little bit when making big decisions to get those scenarios instead of making like a rash decision that I regret later. So there's always going to be that battle of self-hate and living in the past and motivation, because you can't let that part hold you back.
From your lips, the words of wisdom seem to flow so freely to the point that they soothe a person's heart that hears it. I just made that up. So what I come to find is I have nothing, better to do but make up stuff when I talk to people. And they think, oh, you gave great thought to that. And I'm like, no, I didn't. It just comes out of my heart. But I'm looking at the, oh man, gratitude. Listen, gratitude. Will you let fear conquer you? Looking back, what did you do while in isolation? Why was it important for you to talk to people and remind them that even though they're in isolation, they need to pick up the picante about their life?
This is the time. This is the time when you are handed the gift of time. All those times you said, oh, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to learn a new language. I don't have the time to clean out that closet. I don't have time, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? You just got handed a whole bunch of it.
Way to go.
Now, when that isolation is over, look back. What did you do? What did you do with all that time you were handed that you complained you never had? Are you going to look back and be like, wow, I binged everything on Netflix? Or are you going to look back and say, hey, I did a lot of writing. I did a lot of personal development. I read 50 books. I got in great shape. I learned how to cook you know, things like
Yeah.
that. What did you do? So that's an important thing about isolation is when you complain you're too busy. Too busy. Oh, I hate that. I'm too busy. No, you just don't know how to prioritize.
Okay, so that's a shirt. Too busy. A big circle and a red line through it, and with your IG logo right underneath it. And so, for more info, they can go see you, and you can give them some type of consultation, and they can get their act together. When it comes to, oh my Lord, man, you're just too funny. What is progress over perfection? See, I don't even look. I did not have to write any notes for your show. I hardly ever do that anyhow. Sometimes I make different things. I am going to play a game with you in a little bit.
All
I
right.
don't even have anything for that because I know in my head I have so much I can pull from just listening to you. So, what is progress over perfection? What is your thoughts on that?
If you try to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Ever.
It, that's your drop the mic moment right there. There's your drop the mic.
It's true. I mean, even okay, writing an Instagram post, writing a caption, taking a picture for the Instagram. If you don't get that picture perfect to your standard,
Right.
you'll never post it. If you don't have the perfect caption, you'll never post it. And that's the other thing is that perfection is subjective. Quality is subjective. So you can't, if you're only writing for yourself, that may not connect with people. It's not supposed
Of
to be
course.
perfect.
Right.
People aren't perfect, and we all know that. Yeah,
Yes.
you want to have a great photo? Pick the best photo you took, not keep taking snaps till you get the perfect one.
Yeah.
So and again with photography, the more you take photos, the better you're going to get.
Right.
And that's how it is. You're just going to get better. You're never going to get perfect, but you're going to get better.
Same thing comes into play with something you said in the first segment that I'm going to tie in with what you just said right now. And what that is you mentioned about habits in the first segment. Um, I wanted to delve some more into something that you said. It's not for you to remember at this moment or me to exactly recite back to you because I'm much older, but and I forgot. But I know you said habits. Isn't that kind of the same when it comes to tackling habits or having good habits or progressive habits? Is the It may not be perfect at the beginning. I'm just taking what you just mentioned right now and applying it to habits. That kind of applies to something like habits as well because, well, a person has to keep doing them, right? In order, because you're doing 75 hard for the second time.
Yes.
I think you probably are a little bit better than you were the first time.
I know like the routine, the schedule. So yes, for time management wise, that part is done. I had to learn that last time. So
You learned discipline. You learned discipline as well. You mentioned last time to a measured
yes,
degree.
yes, especially when you go to your Italian grandmother's house and she all bakes 18 different
Uh,
desserts every day.
I don't know how you do it because
And I
I'm
have to
addicted to that.
say,
I would have to, yeah. You
and
had
I
to say
have to
no.
say, I'll have a bowl of fruit, please.
Oh man. Well, something's wrong with you. Yeah, I'd have to push you aside and say, "Can I have hers too?"
No,
Okay.
it's priority. It's because I
Yes,
want it.
that's what I wanted to kind of get to where we are right now, which you just mentioned, and you just took us there. It's priority. So when it comes to, let's say, developing a new habit of life and a lifestyle, what you're putting forth is really, well, progress over perfection. You keep trying to be perfect with that lifestyle, diet, healthy eating, taking pictures, well, doing 75 hard or whatever program you're trying to do, you could really sabotage or self-sabotage because you're looking for something each time instead of the progress that's made. If I'm understanding you, correct me though if I'm wrong.
Yeah, because the perfection will sabotage you. but the progress, you don't if your goal is progress, just to improve, then you don't expect it to be perfect, but you expect to see incremental improvements over time. And when it comes to habits, I've never intentionally created a habit before until 75 hard. So
Oh, really?
Robin Sharma talks about 66 days to create a habit, and 75 hard is 75 days.
Yeah.
So the first 22 days are like the creation, no, it's the destruction of the old
Destruction
habit.
of the old, yeah.
And then the second one is the implementation, integration of the new habit. And
then you implement it.
And then it's simple. Yeah. Well, so when I got to the beginning of that third section of implementation, I was exhausted. And so I'm in the middle of 75 hard. I'm coming towards like the last third, and I'm like, why am I so tired? I'm exhausted. It's because of the destruction of the old habit. It was my brain cleaning it up, getting rid of the old pathways and creating new ones. So I was absolutely exhausted for a good 2 weeks. And then when I looked it up, because I had read the 5 a.m. Club last time in 75 hard. Like actually during that, I had just finished it maybe 3 weeks before this happened. So
in the second 75 hard.
No, the first 75.
Oh, the first one. Okay, go ahead. All right.
Yeah, so I had read it during that one, and then so I knew exactly what was happening. Didn't realize I'd be so tired. But yeah, when you're creating these new habits, it's linear like that. There's 3 sections, and this is how you create the habit. So yeah, I already had the habit of working out, but now I have better time management. I have self-discipline. I can say no to dessert and drinks and things, and I own it. Yeah. I'm not getting, oh, come on, just have one drink. Just come on, just a little piece of pie. I can say no and just own it. No.
You feel yourself being the person where it's not happening that you have to do it. You literally are emanating this choice and decision from within, and you're good with it. Yes. And it's like it's settled. You have a strong measure of integrity to which I just said no. I'm okay, and it's not like no. I really want to, but I gotta, and I can't cheat. It's not cheating anymore. It's a decisive use of free will.
Yes, and it also allows other people to do the same thing. Because a lot of people don't want to be the first person to not do it.
Good point. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It allows other people to also, if they really don't want dessert and one other person's not doing it, they can be like, I'm good too.
Isn't that really interesting how that happens? That is absolutely correct. I didn't think about that when you mentioned that, but now I see what you're saying. It actually frees up other people.
It really
have you, oh my goodness. I don't know what you're doing stuff to me here because I want to, oh man, no, I can't do that. We'll be here till and I can't get my, the moon's coming out soon here in California. That's my tanning time. I have to go out. Well, anyhow, what I was going to say is that was the worst joke. That was the worst. And I got the worst laugh. That's messed up. Okay. So now I have to ask you this. If you were able to tell me a joke, it's got to be a clean joke. If you were able to tell me a joke that would it be funny?
Probably not.
Do you know any joke?
No.
If you were told a joke, would you dissect it or would you laugh at it right away?
Oh, I just laughed at it right away. And
whether it was funny or not? What?
I would laugh, then dissect it.
Okay. You would not tell a joke because none or wouldn't be funny, but you would laugh at the joke and then dissect it. Yes. When you meet someone, do you find yourself dissecting them before you meet them or shake their hand or whatever, greet them, or do you do that after?
Body language tells you a lot. And
Okay, absolutely.
how they carry themselves and how they
Yeah.
present themselves can tell you a lot before they open their mouths.
So you dissecting before or after?
I'm a woman. I'm constantly dissecting. Come on now.
That's the best
Come
answer
on
ever.
now.
That's the best answer ever. Okay, so since that's the case, when you look at your life, are you dissecting it as you're living it, or are you dissecting it before you go to bed, or are you dissecting it when dissecting yesterday when you wake up in the morning?
No, I've learned to more let things go. If it's not going to serve me, I'm not going to keep dissecting it. If I'm not going to learn something from it, it's not worth going back to. But if there's a lesson in there, I will dissect it. So I
They
learn and use and apply it.
got it. So you're looking for application and usage. If the usage rate is high, application is good, you're gonna do it, good or bad, right?
Yes.
What did you learn about yourself when you were between the ages of, let's just say, 10 and 18 that you liked about yourself? What was it about you between the ages of 10 years of age and 18 that you thought, you know what, it's not that bad, not that bad. Yeah, pretty cool.
That I'm hilarious.
And extreme. You got the two H's. You're hilarious and you're humble. And you're so humble. And so,
Right? That was going to be my
it's
other
just
one.
like, that was after you said you were hilarious, of course. It would have been quite strange if you would have went humble and then said you were hilarious.
That would have
But
been
yes, it works this way. Yes, it does. Yeah,
yeah.
you could just literally have H2 as a part of your logo, that you're
Yeah.
hilarious and
Yeah.
humble.
And my
Yeah.
energy, I love how much energy I have all the time, and I'm so grateful to have it. I that's why I'm able to do 75 hard, no problem. I get up at 5 in the morning every day and work out.
That's because your brain has had all the rest it needs at that point. So it wakes you up because it wants to learn some more. You have so many things that you would do back to between the ages of 10 and 18. Did you have a lot of energy then?
Yes.
Really? Was
Yes.
was there a moment in your life between the ages of 10 and 18 that you came across someone that you were willing to change your plans in life for, some guy that you thought he would be somebody that could be my running mate and I could run with him?
No.
So because of that, you've always been a person that's been a solo act, or do you consider yourself a team player?
I am a team player, but I'm mostly uh fiercely independent to a fault.
How is
It's
that the case to a fault?
um all right, well, we'll put it in the context of a relationship where I exercise a lot and I'm very strong. So I will carry the 50 pounds of cat litter into the
You're,
house.
I had a feeling you were going down that road. I don't know why,
So,
because I was actually
but
leading up to your cat, but go ahead.
in a relationship point, like I know that's not particularly feminine. And
Oh
so
my
but
Lord.
but also a guy
Hey,
feels
wait,
like that's a guy thing
I'm
to do.
insulted by you said that. I'm insulted that you said that. No, I'm
And
just kidding.
it makes guys feel like useful when there's something I can't do. I'm like, hey, can you open this? And they can open it. It makes them feel strong and useful. And
I don't know. I don't know. I
no,
don't know, Lisa. No, Lisa, you hanging out with too many boys. A grown man don't feel that way. He'll sit there and watch you go carry the bag, and then go make you something to eat. So I don't know. I just maybe because I'm older. So and I'm different. I'm 50s and 60s generation. So so it's a little different. You can carry the 50-pound bag for some guys, and they'll go like, hey, props. You want me to get the door for you? It's kind of like, you want, but, some guys, I guess you're right. Some boys would be hurt by that, but even your cat knows that you're strong and that it's okay. So if he can't be like the cat, then he doesn't have room in your life, unless you don't feel like carrying it. But when
yeah,
it comes to your, your being 21 years of age till now, which is like what, 3 years? So from the age of 21 till now, today, what is there about you outside of the fact that you exercise a lot, you're strong, you're hilarious, and I say you're humble, in a very
Facetious.
I'll use the word gregarious. You're humble in a gregarious way. Now you try to put those two words together. A humble, gregarious person. You can be so funny and opening to others, but yet you don't try to devour them. That's what I kind of mean. That's what I'm trying to say. It takes a guy 400 words to say what a woman can say in four, 5, or 10. But anyhow, when it comes to right now in your life, what is there about you that makes you this person that others will find enjoyable to be around?
I've learned how to listen. I mean, yes, I can talk a lot, like,
No, really? Yeah,
but just learning to listen and
yeah.
then being heard. Listening, not waiting till they stop talking to respond, but listening to what they're saying, taking it in, and responding to what they're saying, not just for the sake of talking.
What do you think about people who have the ability to understand other people? What do you think about that ability? Do you
Well,
feel you have it?
that's a work in progress. It really is. Some people
I did not
communicate
expect you to say that.
people
Okay, go ahead.
communicate so differently. And like there's the logic people and the more emotional people, the left brain, right brain.
All right.
And communicating effectively with the different communication styles is a challenge
For who? You?
for me.
Why is it a challenge for you? Do you find yourself wanting someone to hurry up and get to the point, or do you find yourself lingering on what they said and understanding and still examining their body language to go like, oh, I think I get where they're going and what they're all about?
Oh, that's a harder question. It depends. It depends because sometimes I just yeah, we're not circling back here. Let's go. Spit it
Yeah.
out. But other
See,
times I need the
yeah,
details.
yeah. So that is actually a great sign of maturity on your part, being able to do both. You're like, again, your grandparents are coming through. So, one time they want you to hurry up and get, chop, chop, give me the shrink wrap. And the other time it's going like, no, I need you to talk some more. Give me some more details. So I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah. And so I'm gonna do this because I told you, seriously, I could talk to you like we can go on, but I'm not going to do that because I have to have self-control. But I can do this. You have a podcast.
I do.
What made you start a podcast and decide to talk to the world?
I wanted to give my audience examples of regular people just like them,
Mm-hmm.
who have pushed themselves out of their comfort zones and done amazing things. And I also have experts on my podcast for those kind of things that hold people back, like social anxiety, imposter syndrome, things like that. So they can help my audience get out of their comfort zone.
The name of your podcast is?
It's the New Bucket List podcast. I know, so creative.
Wait,
But
Let me think. No, I did that wrong. And the name of your podcast is?
the New Bucket List.
That's my girl. There you go. yeah. Do jazz hands. That's cool. Do jazz hands with it. We make it pop because they've never heard that before. That term before. Now, I'm gonna read something to you, and I want you to expound on it because you're just cool. You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. That's from Stephen King, the posting you have on your page. You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. Now, you're so good at captions. I mean, you're so good in the comments. The stuff you write. It's like your cat must look at you and go like, she's at it again. She's at it. It's pouring out of her. She's got to put it somewhere. So what are you waiting for is what you say. A sign, permission, someone to do it for you. Yeah, you were raised around very mature people because you get right to the point. Stop regret before it happens, you say. You continue. Your words are, everyone always wishes they had started going after goals sooner. So why not start now? I believe in you. You got this, is what you write.
Yes.
Oh, it's just, why are you so beautiful at motivating people and getting their brain to unlock itself, to look at things differently? Why are you so motivating emotionally and mentally to do that?
Because no one did that for me. No one was like, hey, you don't live forever. So if you want to do stuff, you should probably get on that.
You should
Like,
probably,
no,
you should probably get on that.
nobody, nobody
Uh,
mentioned it. Nobody said,
yeah,
what's like, hey, no one, no one asked me if I have a bucket list. And even
right.
then, at a young age, I had no
Yeah.
idea how to create a bucket list properly. You write down things like, oh, I want to go to Australia and get a tattoo. Like, you write down, like, stuff like that. I want to go skydiving. Like, that's original. Super original.
Yeah.
But it's things like that, it's things that you may not have told anybody or you never wrote down that are on your bucket list. These goals that you've always thought, oh, I've always wanted to do that. Well, that's great. Do them. If you've always wanted to do it, this is obviously something important. Why haven't you started?
And a lame excuse is to say, I don't have time. Would you say? It's,
Yes.
you know what? I'm going to do it 1 year. I'm going to do it soon. I think you touched on it in the first segment, and I know
Soon,
you touched it
later.
later.
Blah.
They need to make a timeline. I'm just throwing that out there. Again, remember, correct me if I'm wrong. You're the diva for the day. So if they need to make a timeline, they need to start putting $3 a week away. They need to not always be having pizza and use the money to get to their goal.
Yeah, and
Jump in anytime.
there's something else that's super important that people need to do. Your listeners, you need to do this. If you have a goal, something you really want to do, let's say you want to go bungee jumping in New Zealand. Great. Tell people about it. Yes,
Ah,
set your timeline and everything. Be like, okay, I'm going to
yeah,
save up $5,000. This is the one I want to go to. Great. Start that process, but tell people because you don't know who else wants to do it. You don't know who might have connections in New Zealand that can get you into a really cool hotel or someone they could stay with, someone who
right.
wants to go with you. You could have a tour guide. You could have all these things. If you just tell people, and you will build new connections with people through a shared dream. Connections with people you may have lost, some maybe acquaintances even that you
Right.
didn't really talk to and didn't realize are incredible people.
Mm. The mindset of people is to maybe of some of us, all of us, some people, to make an excuse not to achieve what they want, or at least talk about that they want to do. But they never really tell their friends to hold them accountable to do it, like you're talking about to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I started writing my book, I told people I was writing a book. And when I told people, they would check in with me.
There you
Oh,
go.
you told me you're writing a book. How's that coming along?
Yeah.
And then because of that, I had people offering to proofread it for me. I had
Wow.
people offering to do graphics. I had all these people offering things. And if I hadn't said anything, I would have never had that opportunity.
Have been an amazing gift, choking me up literally. You've been an amazing gift to me, and being and saying yes to join me on the show, because this particular platform, I have the NARC abuse _ TV, but this particular platform, um, I I got to be careful. No, I don't have to be careful. I have certain people on. Um, and the type of people that I have on are people who can motivate other people and don't just have a story of tragedy. Are you a person who could give advice to someone right now who may have a story of tragedy and it still grips them? Give me something that they can use to navigate better around that tragedy. Could you do that for me?
Yeah. I mean, with the tragedy I experienced, I it wasn't in vain. I mean, if that had never happened, I'd probably still be in that crappy apartment with that guy not going to Europe.
I
So,
literally thought about that when I heard the video. That's true.
yeah, but that's it. To get the good out of a tragedy, to reframe it so it's not in vain. Look at the lessons you learned from it. I mean, I jumped right to all the things he would never get to do.
Wow.
And then I
Yeah.
went, what do I want to do? And these are
Wow.
hard questions to ask. They're really hard questions to ask yourself. But it's real and it's raw, and you need to answer these questions because you're still here. You have the opportunity to do these things that you have always wanted to.
There is not a moment in time that I have lived in my short time here uh, that I have not enjoyed meeting people like you. Today is a special day for me to enjoy my time with you simply because I'm alive. Nothing special outside of that, because that's the best special that I've got to give, is that I'm alive and can enjoy someone who's quite introspectively insightful. I can come up with 50 billion words to try to describe you, and all of them will fall short of one major thing. You are no doubt a great deal of energy and fun in person.
I really am.
But this, through COVID, has been an actual pleasure for me to do this show with you. Even though I promised you fun, and and I got serious a number of times in asking you questions, there is a lot of fun to be had that I deliberately have chosen not to talk to you about, because I wanted to ask you what I've asked you so far, which means I deliberately made it where I can say across social media at this moment, I really look forward to you saying yes to me again and coming back, because we can talk about a number of other things, and then I can unleash some stuff that I haven't shared with you. That
Absolutely, Paxton. I've had a great time. You ask excellent questions,
Oh,
and
you're being kind.
and I really hope your audience connects.
Well, well, I can in real time look at some of the things that people are sending me. I do that through the show and try to act like I'm not. They truly enjoy you. They love you doing that. Do that again with the thing you just did. That little smile thing you do. It looked like I'm innocent and I didn't do anything. So, as you hold the match in your hand. So that thing. So you have been an absolute pleasure, a great source of encouragement you have been. But before I let the show go, as I press up against some time, I want to do this. 3 questions. Here we go. I literally played the game, part of the game with you. I didn't play all of it. I'm saving it for something else. But I'm going to ask you these 3 things. 1, when it comes to your personality, if someone met you and tried to describe you, what 3 words would they use beside, of course, that you're humble? Let's put that aside. What 3 words would someone who has never met you, never read your blog, never read your book, never heard your life story, how would they describe you? 3 words to describe who Lisa is.
Gregarious,
Okay?
talkative,
Okay?
happy.
Okay, all right. I didn't see the happy one coming, but that is so true about you. You absolutely are. Is it now? Now, a supplemental question that was not a part of that just popped into my head. Are you happy because of the exercise, or are you happy because you make progress in things that you put your mind and hand to?
I'm happy because I have the opportunity to do it.
Bingo. Love it. Second question. Lisa, from the age of far back as you can remember, 5, 6, 7, to the age of 21, is she different than the Lisa from 22 to today?
Yes.
How?
That Lisa didn't know who she was. Was not confident in it. Didn't own it. Wanted to adapt for other people, to make other people comfortable. This Lisa doesn't need that.
What made you get to that point that you don't need that some young lady that will see this, or some mother is trying to understand that, and she's been adapting herself for 20, 30 years or a few decades to only find out now, wait a minute, she's trying to put the brakes and try to understand what made it possible for you to be this person today that you could share with another woman now?
Judgment does not serve you. That fear of judgment, you are thinking for other people. Mm-hmm. If you wear something and you're like, oh, I don't want to wear this because they're going to think it looks stupid. It's like, who's they? Who's this mystical they who isn't going to like it? Yeah. If you like it and you feel cute, they're jealous. They want to look good and feel cute.
There you go. Right. Absolutely correct. Yeah. Third question. Okay, Lisa. There are a number of things that you have done, but you're not done. There are a number of things that you have experienced, but there are many more experiences waiting ahead of you. But the most interesting thing that I want to say is this. I don't think Lisa is finished, let alone is she done.
Nope.
So I have to ask you this. What is there about Lisa that everyone will like once Lisa is finally done? If someone had to say, when Lisa is finally done, what is it that they liked about Lisa? What would they say that they liked about you in one word to describe the Lisa that they met in your lifetime? Your lifetime, described in one word by people that met you, that know you. What word would they use?
One word?
One word, Lisa.
Damn.
That would be an interesting word to describe you, too.
Damn.
That would actually... There you go, ladies and gents. You see the picture of her, you're going to just look at her and go like... Yeah. All right. That sounds like a rap song. Anyhow, so... All right. And I'm a jazz guy, but go ahead. So anyhow, one word quick to describe Lisa.
Just energetic.
Energetic. That doesn't sound like a word that you would settle on, and then you could probably think of another if you had more time. So let's say you had 3 more seconds. And what would be the next backup word that someone would say about you? They're standing around. Lisa's done. She did all she did in this lifetime.
Inspiring.
Energetic. Inspiring. If they're standing around and somebody else walks up and goes, hey, what are you guys doing? I say, I'm trying to think of one word to describe Lisa. I thought of energetic, and he's thought of inspiring. And, what word you got? And they would say as a third word, what?
Funny.
Energetic, inspiring, funny Lisa has been with us today, ladies and gents. We have enjoyed her more than she knows. And the people that watch my shows, the majority of them download the shows off of Instagram's platform. I do not know how many people actually literally watch my shows, but I have an idea that it's way more than that actually follow me. So I want you to know you have been an energetic, inspiring ball of fun. but a very well exercised ball of 75 hard to be exact. Thank you so much. Unbelievable energy, smile. It has not even been unleashed on this show the way I really was going to do it, because I could only enjoy my face being this tight after going to the dentist yesterday for only 2 segments. If I didn't, and I literally could go through it, I would beg you to stay for another half hour. But I am telling you right now, my face is hurting and I need to go take some medication. So, because you have made me smile so much after the dentist was in there having fun. So, you are a true treasure that can be unwrapped by someone who will come into your life. And if they don't, you are being unwrapped by everyone that meets you if they take the time to linger and listen to you, because you are worth well listening to. You have such wisdom at such a young age. But what's more important is you know how to have fun and you know how to spend time with yourself and make it count. But your cat has got to be the one of the most fortunate beings on the planet, because what's his name again?
Pac.
I know you said in the first segment. I just had to say it, have you say it one more time.
Oh, it's Pac. It's Tupac.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Does the cat kind of act like Tupac? I just want to know.
No.
No, not even. I'm just checking. Make
No,
sure
he just lays there. It's cat.
he just lays there. Well, he's cool. You know, he's chillaxing. He's chillaxing.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You
Well,
go. Yes.
thank you so much for having me. I had fun, and you're awesome.
No, you're being so kind. I can't wait for you to have I can't wait for you to have as many guest appearances on as many podcasts and shows that you can do on other people's platforms. This is your second, third, 15th, 20th live that you've done on somebody's show?
I've only done a few. I've done a handful of lives on
Okay.
Instagram. I've
All
been
right.
on a couple other podcasts and YouTube,
Yes.
but for Instagram Live, yeah, I've only done a few.
Yeah.
But
You are the perfect guest. You are absolutely the perfect guest. I did not even dare to unleash what I was really going to do, because you were going so well and you were so insightful. But you are so in trouble next time you decide to show up, because I'm going to get you on a Friday when I'm really goofy and you're done for. I wanted
right.
you on a Thursday when I was still serious, but you come on a Friday or a Saturday, you're done. I'm so good. I got stuff to ask you that has nothing to do about your page. I would do that with you. I would literally do the normal podcast weird stuff that I have done before with you. But this bucket list thing, we had to kind of get this show out of the way because everybody had to understand what it meant. And we played really nice today in the playground. But next time, okay, we're gonna go Tupac on everybody. So we'll just go Tupac. Make sure we have a lot of fun together next time being goofy. So
Yes,
thank
we'll
you
do it
so much.
again.
Yes, without a doubt.
Thank you.
Have a nice night,
You as
Toronto.
well.
You're 3 hours ahead of me.
Yes, 8:30.
Yes. Give me my last high five. That's what I'll do. High five.
Yay!
Yay! You're the bomb. Everybody, love you guys for being here. People already know that how to find you, because your Instagram page is
At Live the New Bucket List. You can follow me.
You're the bomb. Totally the bomb. Loves you a lot. Everybody, see you guys later. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.